Live publicly here today. Hey, it's Pastor Kerry from Compass Church, and I want to talk to you a little bit about my problem. My problem is FOMO. It's FOMO. Let me just put that up here so that you can see it, what I'm talking about. That it's the fear of missing out. The fear of missing out. And how that surfaces in my life is is with my problem. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to buying software, and particularly lifetime deals. What happens with me is that I belong to a group that announces various lifetime deals on software, and so the whole psychology behind a lifetime deal, it's a limited time offer. And so you either jump on and you benefit without having to pay a subscription price for the rest of your life, or you just miss the deal. And so the whole psychology behind lifetime deals is this psychology of FOMO, the fear of missing out. With me, with respect to some of my lifetime deals, is that I've hit on some winners and I've picked a lot of losers too. But FOMO can actually be a core spiritual issue, and let me tell you a little bit why that's the case. FOMO can actually lead you away from God. The fear of missing out can lead you away from God because somehow you think that God is the great depriver who is keeping your best life from you. And so you decide that you're going to go ahead and pursue that best life on your own. It was FOMO that led Eve astray. Now, regardless of what you think about the whole story of Adam and Eve, there's some primordial stuff that's going on in that story, and it's really worth looking at. The tempter comes to Eve, and he says, "For God knows that when you eat from the tree of the fruit that was forbidden," he says, "For God knows that when you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you'll be like God, knowing good from evil." And so Satan had positioned God as the great depriver. He was keeping Eve away from some of the things that she thought that would make her life, that she would be able to live her best life. And so you know how the rest of the story plays out, is that we read in Genesis chapter 3, verse number 6. Let me take off this one here so that we can see that clearly. Genesis chapter 3, verse number 6, it says, "When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye." So there was nothing about the fruit that was a warning or off-putting, or we gave her any sort of indication that this was not going to be in her best interests. So she saw that the fruit was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom. She took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. And so the rest is history. It was a FOMO, the fear of missing out, that led Eve away from God. I have to confess that I've struggled with FOMO at a very profound and deep level in my spirituality. And this is, not just, I'm just not, clickbait type of stuff here. This is the truth. Is that there's a lot of things that I think that are good for me, and a lot of things that I think that would be beneficial in my life. And I even pray about those, and I seek those. I pursue those with my whole heart. And oftentimes that those prayers remain unanswered, or at least, God gives me his no. And that's frustrating for me. And so it seems like sometimes that God is the great depriver in my life. But I have to kind of, and I just had a kind of breakthrough on this here recently about how that God is not about keeping me from the things that's going to give me my best life. He's really all about giving me the things that are going to bring me to my best life. And so while it's true that FOMO can lead you away from God, and it did with Eve, and it does with so many people, that also FOMO, the fear of missing out, can lead you to God. When we have the fear of missing out on his blessings, that may lead you to God. Or when we have the fear of even missing out on knowing him. You see, sometimes I think that we desire the gift more than the giver. The gift of going to heaven, and the gift of forgiveness, and the gift of the various blessings, in our life, whether it be prosperity or the achieving of goals and our dreams coming true or whatever it is that oftentimes we look at God as the means to the end rather than seeing him as the end itself, and that he brings us our best life. Knowing him is the best that life has to offer. And so I would encourage you to think in terms of how FOMO is surfacing in your life. Is it driving you away from God? Is it leading you away from God? Or is it leading you to God? And I would encourage you to do this, is that leverage FOMO, the fear of missing out, to your advantage spiritually, and let that work for you. And have the healthy fear that you might just miss out on knowing God and knowing his blessings. Hey, that's all I wanted to share with you here today. I hope that you'll be able to join me sometime on Sundays for the broadcasts that I share at church. I think I got a good one coming up this Sunday, and so hopefully you'll be able to drop in for that. I'm talking about the truly outrageous Jesus. And so in the meantime, let me encourage you to keep speaking truth and keep showing grace. That's it for now. Bye-bye.